Hey y'all, it's your girl Tech Ty, and I am sitting here with an amazing Tulsa founder as well as ecosystem builder, but I will let her introduce herself. She is none other than the amazing Tammy Torkleson. Please.
Thank you so much. So I'm Tammy Torkleson with KŌM Analytics, founded here in Tulsa about a year ago. So we are brand new. We're new as a business, but we're not new as a concept. So we've been doing data analytics for a while.
And Tammy's not new to this. She's true to this. She's also the founder and CEO of Indigo Technology. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that?
So Indigo Technology was founded in 2016, long before there was a ecosystem in Tulsa. And so we decided that the way that would be best to build a tech ecosystem in Tulsa would be none other than to start putting a bunch of new tech companies out there. So I founded a startup studio. So I worked primarily with non-technical founders and took their napkin ideas and turned those into their MVPs. So we've launched over 30 companies into the Tulsa ecosystem since 2016.
Outstanding. So you're saying that you're a pioneer that made this fertile ground for a transplant Tulsan like me to move to and be able to build and grow. That's what you're saying.
Yes, I am actually saying that.
So, great, because that's what I heard. That's what you heard, right?
That is what I heard.
And I'm grateful. Thank you so very much for doing that because of your efforts, it made it simpler for me to move here and to grow my technology presence and to be able to do what I'm doing now as executive producer of Tulsa Tech Week and OKC Tech Week to showcase all the amazing companies that you help launch from napkin ideas to full-fledged companies. And as you mentioned that, it reminds me of a recent conversation I had with our colleague, Mitchell, who is the founder of Pig Tracks. And we were just briefly chatting recently, and he mentioned how he was one of the 30 companies that you helped launch. So could you tell us more how you took maybe Pig Tracks or Mitchell, or how you've taken a founder from a simple napkin idea to a full-fledged company?
Yep. So a lot of our founders, we don't meet them first. We meet them a lot of times after they've tried and failed. In other words, they're non-technical, so they don't know the tech speak. They don't know what's involved. They really don't understand the cost. And so Mitch is a perfect example of someone who had found a friend of a friend who happened to be a software developer, and so therefore could build his system. And just because you're a software developer does not mean that you can build enterprise worthy software.
Correct.
It just means that you know how to code things.
Correct.
And so what happened is he spent time and money getting his idea off the napkin, and it was never really going anywhere. So the software developer really couldn't understand what he was asking for. What he was getting wasn't quite what he expected, and it wasn't doing the things that he expected it to do. So we actually met at an event here in Tulsa, and he was like, "Wait a minute, so you do this?" It was 1 million cups. So we met at 1 million cups.
Outstanding.
And we were just having a conversation, and he said, "Maybe I need to ask you." And so we started talking, and I said, "Well, we actually build applications, so we understand what's involved with, users and security and how to scale and how to build something that you can start here and grow to here, and you don't have to start over from scratch." So I started working with him, and 8 months later, he had a platform that he was pitching to Oklahoma Natural Gas, and pretty much the rest is history. So he was able to go hire his own development team, hire a new CTO, which is our model. We are not a support team. We are just exactly like your mama bird. We start with the egg, hatch the egg, get you all fledglinged out, and kick you out of the nest.
Send you on your way.
It is your chance to fly or not. And so that's our model. We are not designed to build and support and maintain, because if we're maintaining somebody else's application, that means we can't build yours.
Absolutely.
So that is our model. So yes. So we are very proud of Mitch and his team and the success that they've had. But he is one of several of our clients.
Pioneer, ecosystem builder, trailblazer. That's just what I'm hearing. And I like that.
And it's been a role that I've enjoyed playing. Now we're kind of morphing into a different role where we're truly, my business partner and I are true founders. In other
Yeah.
words, we still have Indigo. Indigo is still doing well, but we've kind of taken a left turn into a new direction so that we can become one of those companies that's raising money, that, you know, we're looking for outside investment, we're looking for something to grow and scale, because KŌM today data analytics is for the wealthy. So we've all heard of Snowflake.
Yes.
We've all heard of Databricks. You know, we've
Mhm.
heard of these big platforms, Fabric.
Yeah.
But what we don't know is that those cost millions of dollars. So if you are a small or a mid-sized company, and maybe you make $25 million in a year,
Mhm.
but that's not what your profit margin is.
Absolutely not.
And so if you're manufacturing, if you're in the healthcare space, your margins are tight
Mhm.
and your regulation is high. So you are constantly having to report on something in some way, in some capacity. And today, the way that applications are made is you have sales systems, you might have an ERP or an EHR, which is the equivalent in the healthcare space. You might have a payroll system that is different from your HR system.
Mhm.
And once you kind of get into this whole, I've got 5+ systems, that
Yeah.
means your data is housed in 5 different places. And gone are the days where the data was sitting on a server in our closet.
Yes.
We are licensing these platforms in the cloud.
Yes.
So not
And
only,
serverless systems.
so you have all these systems, but you actually don't even own any of your own data. It's distributed amongst all of these other players
Mhm.
in their environments in which they control. And the only access you have to that information a lot of times is reports.
Correct.
And the reports aren't great. In fact, the reports are usually bad. And
And
so
not very customizable to what you actually need.
so getting information out of these systems so that you can make those strategic decisions that you have to make on, can I pay this bill on Friday?
Mhm.
Can I, you know, it looks like we can hire someone, but I don't really know if we can hire someone.
Mhm.
You know, in the healthcare space, there's the notion of productive versus non-productive hours. And what that means is, I'm a nurse and I go on vacation, another nurse has to fill my spot. So you have 2 people
Mhm.
getting paid for doing one job.
Mhm.
So that's, how much money am I spending on productive, meaning I'm nursing,
Mhm.
versus non-productive, meaning I'm on PTO or having a sick day or whatever.
Which is valuable and is necessary,
Very-
but it's not the overall focus of the
Yeah.
hospital or the healthcare provider.
Correct. Until they realize that our overtime is off the charts and they can't understand why. So looking at data in a way that actually saves you money, makes you more efficient, and can elevate your ability to sell to your customers efficiently and to renegotiate sometimes contracts with your vendors effectively is really, really important. And right now, the only companies that can really afford to do that are the really, really big ones. And so
Gotcha.
KŌM Analytics was purposefully built and designed for the small to mid-sized market so that we can democratize data. We want to make it accessible to all.
I like the sound of that.
That is what we are. So some of our smallest customers might pay us, you know, $5,000 to $10,000 a year. Some of our largest, you know, we kind of go up from there. But the idea is that you don't have to change your process. You don't have to change the way you do things. We just eliminate all of that manual manipulation of data, the copying and pasting of the spreadsheet, the pivot table masters.
Oof.
You know, all of that goes away. And in place of the time that it took to do that, you're actually making choices and decisions.
Okay. So I want to ask about the structure of KŌM. Is this SaaS, so software as a service, or is it IaaS, infrastructure as a service? Because now I'm hearing it, I'm like, oh, I thought this was SaaS, but it seems more like infrastructure. So
we
what
actually
would
consider
it be?
ourselves kind of in the middle of that, which is a platform. So
Okay.
we're PaaS. So platform as a service.
Got it.
So we have, the way that we are structured is, if you outsource everything and that's what you're comfortable with, then you can outsource this as well. So it can be, fully cloud hosted.
Okay.
But if you're a small to mid-sized company and you've got a server that hosts your ERP, for
Mhm.
example, we can live in that space too. So
Okay.
we can be installed directly on a virtual machine in a
Okay.
cloud. We can be installed in an old-fashioned server in your closet. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter because, again, we just our purpose was to make data accessible for all, and so we had to be where all are. And in most small to mid-sized companies, it's a mixture of things.
Absolutely.
It's a mixture of like Microsoft versus Linux. Like there's all kinds of different things.
Mhm.
And so our platform is designed to work within whatever infrastructure that you have.
Great. Thank you so much for that.
Mhm.
Now, being a trailblazer, being an ecosystem builder, how does it feel now to be back at the founder stage with KŌM after all of these years? And actually, 10 years, so congratulations, 10 years in Indigo Technology and supporting, building, growing this technology ecosystem in Tulsa. How does it feel to be a first year founder starting all over again with a semi new product in a world that has changed dramatically and vastly in the last 10 years?
Well, I would say it's quite frankly exhausting. So
I second that.
it's exhausting.
Nap me, please.
So it is very different. It's a very different role.
Mhm.
It is something that my business partner and I really felt passionately about. There isn't. It's funny. People will say, "Well, who's your competition?" And I'm like, "Well, our competition is a bunch of people making pivot tables, yeah, in Excel spreadsheets." So
The antiquated current solution right now.
that is it. Now, there's a lot of noise out there around AI. You know,
Mhm.
AI is my friend. It is also the bane of my existence.
It's a compliment. It's not going to be
Yeah.
a principle anytime soon.
No, we've embraced AI and we leverage it as a tool. It's
As
a
it should
tool.
be.
It's a tool in the toolbox.
Exactly.
It is a great tool when you use it as such.
Mhm.
If you expect it to be the answer to your life's problems, it's not going to work out very well for you.
Not at all.
And what most people are realizing now is that AI produces answers. It does not produce data. It produces information. Now it can
Well,
produce
it
things.
doesn't even produce answers. It produces results because
Correct.
it does hallucinate, and you should always
Yes.
verify. So you're making a really great point. AI produces results. If you give it a prompt, it will give you a result. That does not mean that it's accurate. That does not mean it's correct. It does not mean it's information. Information is what you get when you place a filter of relevancy on data, because data is everything.
Mhm.
Like right now, we're sitting here on the stairs and everything is data. But if you ask, okay, well, what colors is Tammy wearing as opposed to what colors is Ty wearing, then that will be information because we'll be able to extrapolate that from the overall. So you're absolutely right. AI is a tool, and you were saying that it is not going to give you information or answers, it'll just give you results.
That's correct. And so what we're finding is that a lot of our potential clients
Mhm.
started down the path of, well, I can just get an AI solution that will do all of this fancy reporting for me. And the reality is that's not the case. So AI consumes,
Mhm.
it does not produce per se. And
Correct.
so we what our platform does is it also provides a safe, verifiable layer of
Mhm.
information that then your AI can sit on top of. So it can
Mhm.
consume what is curated, cleaned,
Yes.
and ready for you to actually be able to consume it. So
That makes sense. And then from there, it can parse it. So
Mhm.
AI is a consumer of information because it's consuming everything that is out, excuse me, consumer of data, everything that is out there. But when we talk about data analytics, it is transforming data, which is everything, into information, which can be used effectively and efficiently and implemented to give solutions.
correct.
And that is what KŌM does, provides that solution layer that your or a company's or your client's AI can sit on top of to really produce information and solutions. Oof.
There we
So
are.
let's talk more about your founder journey. You did mention that at this stage you are preparing to raise funding. So what does that
We
look like? Are
are.
you bootstrapping, or have you been bootstrapping to this point in
Mhm.
time? Are you looking for angel investors? Is it VC or venture capital? Tell us where you are.
We are all of the above. So we
Okay.
did bootstrap. We leveraged the profits that we had from Indigo Technology, my business partner and I, and we turned that into, we reinvested that into the KŌM Analytics product. So KŌM has been in the works probably since 2023, 22, somewhere in there, and became a true product. We had our first beta customer in 2020, September of 2023, in the healthcare space. That was very successful, and so that translated into more customers. So we've got an actual product. We've got some revenue coming in, which makes us a little bit of a different startup, because we do have some money.
Because you're revenue producing.
We are revenue producing, which is good. But we are actually fundraising. We've got, we're looking for angel investors. We have some that we're in conversation with right now.
Congrats.
Thank you. We are also looking at, we're having conversations with private equity. We're having conversations with venture capital. We don't really have a prescribed path that we're trying to go down. It is, we're looking for the right partner that can help us with a growth model that we know very specifically kind of what it needs to be. And whoever that right growth partner is, that's who we will partner with. So if that's private equity, great. If that is venture capital, great.
Understood.
It's going to be kind of struck. We're not picking a path and trying to force our way into it. It's really meeting a lot of people and having a lot of conversations and seeing kind of where we need to go next.
Outstanding.
But it is, as I mentioned before, our competition is, spreadsheet genies.
Yes.
And pivot tablers, and a lot of consultants that are doing like custom one-off type solutions. But there is not a platform like ours in the market today. So that means that there's a huge opportunity in the marketplace. And so we just want to be thoughtful about how we approach it. And we're not opposed to selling. That's,
it's an option.
All things are on the table at this stage. Kevin and I just want to see it go into the world. And if we're the ones to get it there, that doesn't necessarily mean that
you're the ones to grow it once it's out in the world.
We don't necessarily have to be the ones that grow it.
Okay.
Yeah. This is Tammy Torkleson, and I thank you so much for spending time with us to talk about KŌM Analytics, your data solutions platform. We are in the middle of, as I mentioned, raising money, building our platform, building our customer base. So if you want to reach out to me for more information, it's ttorkelson at indigotulsa.com. That's INDIGO Tulsa.com. But please reach out to us. It's been a pleasure to spend time with you and with Miss Tulsa Tech Week Tech Tie. I thank you so much for your tenacity in building our Tulsa Tech Week and ensuring that you keep all of us cats in alignment. Thank you so much.